Welcome to the Gritty Podcast. I'm Brian Call. Joining me on today's episode are Jeff Moss and Michelle Jones from ADAX Outdoors. So what's ADAX? Well, it's the company behind one of the toughest ultralight trailers on the market. Built for the backcountry and engineered with military-grade durability, it's designed to go wherever your rig can take it. With high ground clearance and rugged suspension and a payload capacity over 1,200 pounds, it's pretty impressive. And whether you're a hunter or an overlander, or someone who believes the best campsites are the hardest ones to reach like I do, this episode is for you. Welcome to the Gritty Podcast. I'm Brian Call. I've got my co-host today is Jordan Harbertson, Black Flag himself, and we have Jeff Moss, aka El Jefe, also known as Jeffrey.
All of them. I'll take them all.
we just established we're gonna go Jeff, Moss, and Michelle Jones.
Yep, known as the General.
The General.
Dude. Oh, I like that. He's got this dialed.
Yes.
Okay, the General. And we are at Addax, not like drug addicts, like the antelope.
The antelope, Africa.
Right.
Yeah.
African addicts.
You wouldn't know that, and I wouldn't know that because we haven't been to Africa.
Oh.
He was supposed to go to Africa this month.
Yeah, in 2 days.
In 2 days.
Yeah.
But
they're actually endangered.
this happened.
Anyways.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do feel like we are more important than that, whatever it was.
Well, listen, it was either Jeff, it was either
I like the honesty, Jeff.
we were going to Africa to chase an Addax, or he's like, you know what? Or I could
Michelle just said they're endangered.
Yeah.
Are they endangered?
They are.
So they don't hunt them there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not anymore.
Well, now we're learning.
They probably have them in a high fence in Texas.
In a high fence, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably,
along with an
they're probably not threatened there in Texas.
Right, depending upon how much cash you've got flowing through,
Yes.
then yes, you can probably buy one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this episode. We're at the ADAX headquarters here. I guess it's the headquarters.
Yep.
The main building. And real quick, let folks know what is ADAX. The General should.
It is a awesome outdoor trailer that you can take behind pretty much any vehicle and take it almost anywhere. And it is so compact that it takes you further back than most any vehicle.
It's pretty incredible. We
It is.
did a little walk around this afternoon.
And
I've
Robert
seen
gave us
these.
the whole rundown.
I've seen similar things back in the day when I first got got into the Jeep scene in Overland, probably 15 years ago. Okay, folks, if you like the show and you want to support us and you're in the market for a brand new sleeping bag, check out the Peaks Solace 15. We spent a lot of years designing that sleeping bag in partnership with Peaks Equipment. The Peaks sleeping bag has so many innovative features. The old backpacker saying that 2 is 1 and 1 is none is never more true. And this sleeping bag is so versatile. It can be a quilt. It can be a jacket. It's got armholes. It's a 3-way zipper. It regulates temperature really well. It's got the hood. It's pretty remarkable. Go check it out. Use the code GRITTY and you'll save. And it helps us keep doing what we do. Now, let's get back to the show. I was trying to get a trailer that I could build like this, where you just get basically, what did they call those old trailers that they used in the Army with the 2 wheels? And
It was just the bed of a trailer.
The M109 or something from World War II. I was all about that. Right. Your boy Brian. I had ready is looking for the used, and then basically could take that little tiny, 2-wheel trailer that they used military style and convert. And there was all these forums. It might have been before forums, but after later.
Yeah, well, no, forums, blogs.
I think it was chat rooms.
Shut up.
Chat rooms.
It was chat rooms.
I'm trying to think,
AOL,
like,
I think, was chat rooms. Was it?
AOL.
I turned
AOL,
50 about 6 months ago or something.
Yeah.
So I've been around a minute. But now, here we are. It's what I dreamt of.
Right.
You guys built it. It's pretty cool.
I appreciate that.
It has been a dream, and it's been fun to bring it to fruition. It's been great.
Yeah, what's cool about these two, to build on what Michelle's saying, is, it's not specific to any outdoor sport. It's really like your outdoor sport utility trailer. So like whatever you're doing outside, we're built to essentially be like your base camp to anything. So you could be a skier, you could be a hunter, you could be a climber, you could be an overlander, you could be whatever you want. You have tons of gear, you have tons of stuff you got to take, And normally you don't want that sitting in your car, on your car 24/7. We built this invincible trailer that can go anywhere, like Michelle's saying, and take all of your stuff everywhere you need to go. And then you can drop it off at any time. Super easy.
What prompted you to go down this road?
So we were working with an overlanding company, and the customers just said, I don't want to put it on my rig anymore. I can't leave the kids sleeping and try to go look for animals or go fishing because I need my rig to be able to go do that. And
right, because normally you got to pop up on the top of the trailer, on the top of the vehicle.
Right.
And it's pretty dangerous when you've got your kids on the top.
And you're flying down the highway.
You're flying down the highway, or you're on the ridge trying,
Totally.
Exactly.
True.
It's sketchy.
Right.
it's not recommended.
No, please
or
do not
all
do
of
that.
the people who like forget that their
awning
or your rooftop tent is on your car and you pull into your garage and
Right.
just flip it
Yes.
around right to your house all the time.
They forgot to.
Happens all
That's
the
got to
time.
be a regular occurrence.
It really is.
Because when you're so in that state of flow, you're just like, I'm home. Boom.
Right. Some
All the
even,
time.
they forget to take the air out of their tires because they know that they could clear it if they,
No way.
take out the air of their tires.
Oh, that's right.
Some have that. So, but no, that was the biggest thing that prompted us to be able to do that. And, it's taken years of testing and modification. And
when did you guys begin?
About 4 years ago.
Okay. So 4 years ago, you guys kind of.
Yep. Modifying them. And today, this is what we have. And we're really proud of this because it has taken a while to get them to where we wanted them. And it's got a guy touch to it, but it also has a female touch to it because there are things on there that I wanted. I mean, like it has a bottle opener. I know that seems really weird, but it never fails. You always have that one friend and he, instead of buying cans, he prefers bottles and he forgot a bottle opener.
Why is it always a guy, Michelle?
Because it's always a guy.
Yeah.
It never fails. It's always a guy that brings the bottles.
Yeah.
It's true.
Brings the bottles and forgets the opener.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, hey, I got you covered.
You just stop
I
inviting that guy, Michelle.
No, you always got to bring him because he always brings the good ones.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You're like, no, it's okay to come. But,
Yeah.
they're just built so tough, so your kids can jump on the fenders. Literally, we've actually had 4 grown adults on one fender jumping on it. So they're built tough. So they're built to last. And that's really what we wanted to make sure that you could do. That they're not going to be flimsy. They're not going to, just break down in the next, 2 or 3 years. They're going to last. They're going to be there for you.
Oh, yeah. And you've basically got the essentials covered in the tiniest package I've ever really seen. I see these, I sort of drool over these different overland builds, where they've got some Land Rover or Jeep JK, and the refrigerator's like some kind of pull out built into the back or the middle. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want my Jeep like built like that for if I was living on the road, I guess, but it's a daily driver too.
Right.
And so this gives me basically the whole overland option, but it just detaches at the bumper.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. It's like a lot of times we talk to people. It's like this is the way more affordable way to have a built out Sprinter van.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like you can go spend 110 to 150 grand building out a Sprinter van, or you can get an Addax and like you can tow it behind a Subaru.
And it's a 6x6 footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Right.
The only downside is cold weather.
Sure.
Really.
Get a diesel heater, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
You can put a diesel. Yeah. You just stick it on the side and you put the vent up into the. You're fine.
Cozy.
The other thing too is
There's
that
a
you
coat,
put the.
dude. Just
This
put on a
guy's,
freaking
this
coat.
guy, you got to remember.
I'm a little behind. Okay.
This guy's used to backpacking deep into the backcountry with a teepee.
Look.
And a stove that he'll like fire up, right?
In my little utility trailer conversion, I have a cubic mini wood stove.
Right.
That's
and
cool.
Crank that sucker up.
Yeah,
And,
same thing, man.
yeah.
Put on a coat. You're all right.
So if I did take this skiing, or backcountry snowshoeing or something as a base camp, I can throw in a diesel heater and heat up that little
tent.
How well does that work?
The other thing too is that you can also attach an annex to the tent, right? Which then still gives you a room down here that you can also put the diesel heater with, right? And then with the awning, you can attach walls too. Then you could
that look
and then you
slick.
could and then you could bring in your stove. right?
Yeah.
And put that out there and
Yep,
heat that
yep.
up. And we've actually been out in the desert where it was 17 degrees and been out there in this and had that set up. And it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody was just,
I got to check that out. I want to see, do you guys have pictures or anything of that? You can,
Oh yeah.
I think I have some pictures that we can give you.
because some of that like Death Valley stuff that I've done,
Mhm.
and it gets cold at night. But even the hunting in late October and November where we're base camped, the only downside, to having something where I don't have good heat, because we will throw up a teepee
right.
and a backpacking teepee in our wood stove and we'll get it cranking. But it's not really, I mean, it's lightweight, it's
Right.
small, it's not a wall tent with a stove or something like that, which we've taken as well. But I don't want to deal with putting it up, taking it down,
Yeah.
drying it out when I get home,
Yeah.
all that stuff that comes with a wall tent.
Right.
You guys were mentioning that like Robert was telling us, you can pop this open,
Mm-hmm.
have everything set up, and your takedown is like less than 3 minutes.
I think it's 3 minutes and 28 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. So less than 4 minutes. Like
Yeah, it's
seriously
crazy.
though, I mean, we're talking wall tents. We're talking some
Okay.
of these
Right.
setups. That's pretty insane.
Before I go back to the diesel heater,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah, because we love heat.
Yeah.
Just keep the
Shut
heat
up.
Yeah.
Keep the heat on.
What?
And literally you could have two of them. I mean, they're not that big
I mean,
of a
you
deal.
just dude,
Which one do you like? Like,
like
is there a
which brand?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know which brand we have, but I mean, it's just whatever you set that thing down on the ground, you
Mhm.
feed the tube up into your tent,
And that's it.
you're rocking and rolling, dude.
There are so many brands out there, and I'm not going
Yeah.
to tell you which one to go get because
Yeah.
there's several, and we all know where they're made, and there's a lot of tariffs right now on them.
I might be
Right?
shopping
Yes,
used.
right. But right now there are a lot of good diesel heaters out there. You just have to pick the one that's good for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too. Like, it's kind of just going back to our ethos. Like, we want to be accessory ready to whatever you can or want to do, right? So, like, we're not exclusive with any particular brand for anything that you want to do, right? Like,
Sure,
you can bolt on whatever it is you use, whatever brand from whatever sport you're doing, and this thing is built to just accessorize any way you want.
But this rooftop tent, it'll hold that heat in there really
Mhm.
nice.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
probably like a canvas wall tent.
Right, and you can also get the insulation pad for it too. The blanket
okay.
that goes on the inside. Yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
Yep.
So you guys offer that insulation pad?
We do.
Oh, okay.
Yep, not a problem.
Okay, folks, if you like the show and you want to support us and you're in the market for a brand new sleeping bag, check out the Peaks Solace 15. We spent a lot of years designing that sleeping bag in partnership with Peaks Equipment. The Peaks sleeping bag has so many innovative features. The old backpacker saying that 2 is 1 and 1 is none is never more true. And this sleeping bag is so versatile. It can be a quilt. It can be a jacket. It's got armholes. It's a 3-way zipper. It regulates temperature really well. It's got the hood. It's pretty remarkable. Go check it out. Use the code GRITTY and you'll save. And it helps us keep doing what we do. Now, let's get back to the show. Dang.
We're learning more.
I know. Okay, tell me all the things real quick. Either one of you. All the things it has.
Refrigerator slide, kitchen pull-out prep area, Molly panel, Molly shelf, tent awning.
That awning is sick.
It is
It's dope.
really sick.
Lithium.
Lithium ion 80 amp hour battery. It's solar ready, so you can connect a solar panel into it, which we can also sell you.
Yeah.
11 gallons of water, right? Lights,
Uh-huh.
right? Those are always nice, outside and inside. So you want to be able to see on the inside.
And we learned something from Robert on those lights.
What'd you learn?
Robert told us that the orange light,
Mhm.
you guys have 3 settings,
Correct.
2 different white lights
Correct.
and 1 orange. And the reason for the orange was because
Insect repellent.
I did not know that.
Is it, what about red or green?
Red is so that you can see at night.
Yeah.
So you can see in the dark.
But the orange actually does.
Repels. Mhm.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Some sort of weird spectrum they don't see,
Yeah.
I guess.
So it's just
It's
easier.
a
at
force
night.
field.
I love it.
Yeah.
18 inches of clearance. That's what it'll come.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what comes in.
18 inches of clearance.
Mhm.
You've got 4
Jacks. Yep.
jacks
So that you're
stabilize.
very stable. It's really nice when you get into it. So one thing that happens to Robert and I when we go camping with friends is we always get the crappy spot that's always on level.
Right.
It never fails.
Yeah.
We always get that one. So it's always easy for us because we're like, oh yeah, no problem. We got it. We're like, well, are you sure? Yeah, no problem. And we level it out. And everybody's like, serious? You're like perfectly level. We're like, yeah, we know we're good.
That's cool.
So the other thing that it comes is with a removable tongue. So this thing is really nice because that way it is only taking up 6x6.
Yeah, when it's stored in your garage,
when it's stored in your garage,
a shed, or
a shed, anything. The other thing too is that when you're going into a tight situation and maybe you're trying to get several camps in one spot, then you take that tongue out. Nobody's tripping over it.
Oh,
you don't have little kids tripping over it.
Done that.
Yeah,
plenty of times,
right?
Unfortunately.
So the other thing that's really good for is, I'm sure you have, Grady, I know you're really good at this. I'm sure you have never driven somewhere and the road ended.
Well, in fact.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew it. So we happened to get into that situation where the road ended. And you know how hard it is to move a trailer?
Oh, dude.
The Jeep was really easy. It was really easy to turn in, turn it around and go around. And then it was pick up and move, right? So it's little by little.
Isn't that the nightmare that comes with almost any other trailer option on the planet?
It is. Well, guess what? You can pull that tongue out and put it in the back end. And you can pull it out so you're
That's wild.
Safe.
Not just that, the back end you can add a second tongue.
Well, you
or hitch.
Well, right.
So you can put bikes or something like that back there.
Exactly. You're able to plug a generator into it if you're going to be staying a long time and you want to run other stuff off of it.
Can do it all, man.
Does it have any outlets inside?
10 volt. So for
10 volt?
No. Mm-mm.
Can you wire something?
Yes, you could put an inverter in it.
I mean, kind of for this, we run a Honda generator if we're going to out there, just pop that thing out and do it. But we also run a jackery with a solar panel or just
that
so you can setup.
Yeah, so you could put a solar panel in here to keep the battery charged. And it's got USB ports.
Nice.
And you can also do your solar out. So if you had solar capable other things.
What has been the feedback on the trailer?
They love it. They go everywhere with it. They fill it full and can't believe how much stuff they can actually get into it.
Yeah, I mean, what's cool is you just get people from all walks using this thing for whatever reason they can figure out, right? So every single person who buys one of these things just does it differently, which is really fun to see.
Some hunters?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. One of our good friends, actually, he took it out for 2 weeks. He bought our trailer, went out and bought a car hauler, put his side-by-side and our trailer on it, drove it to his hunting point, unloaded it, and drove further than he's ever been able to go hunting before.
And he had that on the...
He hooked it up to the...
He hooked it up to the Ranger?
He hooked it up to a side-by-side and towed that trailer further than he's ever been able to.
I mean, that's the challenge. The next time,
super epic.
We want to see a bow and arrow out of the tent from the top of a mountain, man.
Well, it's tall enough that kind of like a tree stand.
No, okay, no, wait a minute.
Maybe from the top, you could get a good shot. If you set it up just in the right ridge,
camouflage blind.
You're just got
that's what the Addax is. You put the Addax on there, right? And you've got it made.
It's like a tree house.
I mean, and that's we can paint it and get it camo. That's easy.
Yeah.
That is intriguing though, because this last hunt I was on,
your struggle or your boulder hunt, right?
Yeah, that hunt the roads, man, they were wild. Some of them.
You were constantly in and out though with that your side by side.
Well, some hunt areas you really live in the UTV.
On the boulder, because I've spent a lot of time there. You spend almost all your time.
There's road access, but for motorcycles and and some advanced side by sides, like my Ranger, the farm version, couldn't go hardly anywhere.
Okay.
It bottomed out, it got stuck, it tipped over, fell on its side.
Right.
So then I ran it into the shop and had my buddy Dan soup it up and get all the right stuff on it. And now it looks more like a monster truck, which I really think is cool.
It looks really gritty now.
Yeah, it's very gritty. And it literally I remember I was there a month before with cousin Ben. We're cruising around. And he's like, you need to get something like a 4-wheeler. This sucks. Then I got the new wheels and suspension and the width added and the spacers and all that. Then I went out and he's like,
This is amazing.
just drive over everything.
Yeah.
Just drive over it.
Yeah.
Makes everything flat.
And it's just,
yeah.
I aired down the tires and it was just like so amazing.
So,
I
and
could do
that's what
anything I wanted.
And that's what you do with these. You would air down the tires as well, right? 10, like 10 pounds.
And throw that on the side-by-side.
Exactly.
And it can haul this thing like 10 miles deeper than.
I was just going to say, like, in terms of where we've spent time on the boulder, we always set up a base camp, big trailer.
Right.
Just off the highway. And then we're operating out of that, going into deep to these channels.
I put a rugged topper on my side-by-side and then I can fill it up pretty tight. You know, it's like a canopy.
Right.
And I can stack gear in there, a cooler and bedrolls and some stuff like that. And then I could go. So halfway through that hunt, after I got my butt kicked and didn't kill an elk, and I had to like relocate to a whole new place because all the elk disappeared. And
that never happens.
I didn't like hooking up the trailer and breaking down camp. We'd been there for 2 weeks, you know? And so to do all that only because I didn't know if the elk were there or not. I didn't know where they were.
Right.
Nope.
And so we just threw a bunch of crap in the back of the side-by-side and then we just went.
Right.
And each day we'd throw it back in and go, and the next day, and we just sort of just went 7 miles that way, 10 this way, 20 over here, and just tried to find them. And since we're kind of, you know, that was how I couldn't get my truck back there anyway, let alone the trailer.
Right.
And, but with this, throw that thing on the side-by-side, all that takedown and load up time and all that, I could just go.
Yeah.
You
Go
could just
hunt,
Yep.
come back, and my whole camp is just there.
Correct. That's what makes it so nice and easy.
I still want to see it on the back of the
I do
side-by-side.
too.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
super cool.
he's
It's
going to
cool.
do it. So it's going to happen. Now, one of the things that I'm curious, Jeff, that you said just in terms of like the whole utility of this and that it's multifaceted in who it can be used for. Something that we were talking about before the podcast, and you were like, you had actually mentioned this too. You're like, we'll usually leave our gear in here. Like for the weekender, right?
Yeah.
Not the hunter that's maybe hunting for the week or the weekend for a few times a year, but for the everyday person that literally wants to grab their kids and go. You had mentioned that you're like, we literally grab food, clothes, and we're ready to go.
It's just, well, even the
Like 2 hours
even
and
the
you're
hunter. You know, you look at the hunter or the fisher, and the hunter and the fisher is probably the same person.
gone.
They're going to leave their cooking utensils. They're going to leave their stove. They're going to just have to double check that they've got propane or sterno, right? They've got, just make sure they've got that stuff. But that stuff will already be in there. They either throw in their bedding, and sometimes that's still already in there, right? They've already, it's already been put in there.
And you can put it right there in the
throw it in a
tent.
You can, and
Yeah.
you can just keep it in there all the time, and it's not a big deal.
I love that.
Right. So then you really are just throwing in a couple of things into the refrigerator that you need, and then you're throwing in just your canned goods and flying out the road, right? Your chips, if that's what you really want to eat.
Well, one of the things that seems most appealing to me personally as a father about this is like my boys, they're like, Dad, I want to go fishing. You know, I want to go do these things and these adventures. And I grew up with a dad who was amazing, and I'll never be able to fill his shoes because he would take me and Casey all over the place, and he'd pack, because we were dead weight, we were wimps. He'd pack stuff like the whole camp on his back, and then he'd set it up for us and all this stuff. And to get all that gear together for your kids, for you, and to go do it, it takes forever.
Yeah.
And I'm literally sitting here as we're having this conversation. I'm just envisioning, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can literally have that in my driveway, have it all ready to go. Me and the boys can jump in, go up to like the Uwinas, pop it up and start fishing or camping. And it's all there.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
all there.
It's
for like
all there.
for 1 to 2 nighters, it's like the freaking perfect setup.
That's
that.
awesome.
Like you come home from work and you're gone in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, no, that to me is an incredibly appealing thing for this in terms of that. You and I were talking too, just to Brian's point on the winter with the diesel and the heater and all that stuff. But like, you know, with our company Cardiff that we had talked about, where a lot of our guys are doing a lot of backcountry split boarding, skiing, and just to have a true base camp instead of like the Anagan or whatever. What do you call that again? The Sprinter van?
The Sprinter van.
Yeah, the Sprinter van. I'm obviously not one of those guys. I'm going to be an ADAX guy. So, but it's cool to see the application and how it can easily set up, go, drop. And for me, because I haven't really done it, this is really informative for somebody like me who's novice or maybe going to get into it. But just the fact that I didn't even consider like, oh, I just see what I've seen in Overland, which is everybody's got it in their trunk, and that's just what you do. And that's just how you live that lifestyle. And now it's like, this is a whole new way to do that same lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, that's the, like, unless you're really going for the look that you want everyone on I-15 to know that, like,
I'm an Overland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which you're like, dude,
yeah.
I mean, there is some
street cred, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, if we get into a zombie apocalypse, we know this dude's like, I'm ready.
He's got the
I've
traction
always
board.
been ready.
Yeah, he's got the shovels and the
Rotopacks.
pick and the
exactly.
chainsaw even.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This guy's ready to rip.
The nice thing about it is it is exactly that, right? You can have your truck, you can have your rig, you're not giving up all the functionality of that, and then you still have all of the fun and like your ADAX that's ready to go anytime you're ready to go, which is just great. Just makes it easy.
I see you have a propane tank mounted on the outside there, right on the
super
fender.
Easy.
Looks simple.
Yeah.
It's got even the bolt attachments, it looks like, for on both sides for just accommodating.
Yeah, the rib nuts are there so that you can take an 8mm bolt and bolt on other things that you want to. I mean, that's easy to take a box that, we all have them. You can either do the Harbor Freight or you can do the expensive Rome, right? The Rome boxes are killer. We all know that. and you can, drill your holes in them that you want to mount your box onto it. Make sure you silicone before you put this bolt through there so you don't get any water or dust in. And then, you can bolt it right onto the side of the trailer. Then whatever you decide to put in there, if it's, guns or fishing poles or different seasonings, because maybe you're a barbecuer and that's what you want to do and that's what you want to put in there, then that's another accessory that you could add to it yourself.
Our next model, which we're already working on, we're going to line the whole outside of the trailer molly panel. That way it just makes it that much easier.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you've got molly panel on the inside.
Correct.
Yeah.
The interior. So to bring that outside and just create more functionality and customization. Because as Robert was running us through it initially, I mean, he was showing us like Brian said, where they've got that place for the brackets for that. And then you've got other places, both on the fenders. Yep. You can pop those out. So it allows a total, somebody who's like, I just want to strap everything to this.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys are offering
and we
that.
get that is the thing. Like, there are people who, they buy these things, we get a picture a couple weeks later and it's just like, it's just decked out and so much stuff. And it's just like it's like their little, like their tank trailer.
Well,
like
of course. And one of the questions that Brian had brought up in that initial run through was just like, okay, how durable is this thing? Like how sturdy is it? How durable is it? And your hoodie, you have on it, it says forged on earth, tested in hell.
Because it's been down hell's revenge.
Okay. Tell us about that. Like,
so Stellantis was down there along with us, and they were taking their Jeep and our trailer down the trail. And the Stellantis guy looked over at our ADAX guy and said, do you think your trailer's going to make it? He goes, I don't know. I guess we're going to see. And he goes, good, because I don't know if this Jeep's going to make it. Well, guess what? They both made it.
That's
so
incredible.
Yeah, it was super impressive, right? So yes, we take it. We are, forged on earth and tested in hell. So we've been to hell's revenge and we've made it. So yeah, I mean, these things are very rugged and they are very capable. And yeah, I mean, you're not going to take it on a 6 and you're not going to take it on a 5. And I probably wouldn't suggest a 4, right? But yeah, I mean, these things are a base camp. That's what they're made for. They're made for you to go out there, make a base camp and go play.
Yeah.
So that you've got a place that that you're going to come home and you can make your meals and you can rest and relax and it's all there, right? But it's also, bear safe. So the bears and the raccoons
which
are
is
gonna
nice. I had a situation where I learned that a Toyota Tundra is not bear safe if you don't lock the doors. I was in Montana. Oh, no. I'll never forget this. We were on an elk hunt and we were in a big RV and we just kept having these black bears come into camp and they were kind of messing with our side by side. They chewed up the seats and then they had gotten into some of the gear a little bit. Anyways, we had killed an elk. We had done the stupid thing of leaving the meat in the back of the trailer, the back of the trunk. My backpack that I had was in my back seat. Okay. These guys came in, they took some of our meat. So then okay, let's go get it. Let's get that away. So we put it in coolers, got it safe. But they were still hungry. They opened up my front door, and this in the middle of the night. We're in the middle of the night. These guys literally come in, and I turn on the lights. I come out.
These bears have done this before.
Yeah, these guys, this is not their first rodeo, right? Homeboy opens up my door, gets inside, chews up my headrest, and then like goes and finds my backpack, opens it up. I mean, this guy is, what was the cartoon bear that stole the
Yogi.
This thing's freaking Yogi the bear.
How about we go get us a picnic basket and some elk?
Yes, legit. So, I mean, I had a unfortunate experience where I had to learn, like, lock your doors. I didn't know you had to really do that in terms of like animals, like, but they could open your door, but bears can with their jaws.
So you got real life bear safety education.
100%. So the fact that this is bear safe, guys, you don't have to worry about an experience like what I went through. You guys are good to go. And it's
what did he call you?
durable.
Dead weight and not bear.
Not bear savvy. Not bear savvy. I've got a lot of nicknames.
It does remind me of. It's funny when I see those people like with a bear in their car, locked in, because they've got in and they can't get out.
Yes,
and the thing's going like this. Guys like opening it with like a pole, trying to. Yeah,
I know.
Wild.
They've been up in Yellowstone and we've had bears around them. So, but no, they're good. So
that's really cool.
The soft materials like the awning and the tent, how durable are those?
Well, I've used mine for a couple of years and I haven't had any issues. The awnings that I use, and I'm just going to do I'll just plug them, Overland Vehicle Systems, and we've put them to the test hard. I mean, they've been in 25, 30 mile an hour winds with us with no legs down.
Those things, they look well made.
Yeah, they're beefy.
They are, and they've been really good to us, and they've withstood everything that we've done to them. Right, we've been out in high winds and just open and shut. We move around a lot when you're out, testing and doing stuff, right? You're out fishing and trying different lakes. Then, of course, and you're hunting and you're moving to different campsites.
Yeah.
Right. Then you're opening and closing a lot. So they've been really great for us.
It does seem like you might want to pull that tongue off when you leave. Because it does seem like this would be pretty, not that it just seems like it'd be pretty easy to steal if you, because it's not very big.
Oh, yeah.
Well, did you see what the hitch was? It was that really cute. I have to have a saddle. Not many people run around with one of those, right?
There's that too. So,
That's what Robert said. He said, in terms of if you left it on and they got curious, then they'd get to the point where they're like, I'm going to attach this. And like, what are you going to attach it to?
Well, if you leave it like that, how many people are going to have something to put in there?
Yes.
Right. So stealing is actually kind of hard.
In fact, do you guys have, TJ, do you have one of those, the unit that connects that Robert was showing us?
The saddle and the stinger.
Because it's as he was describing it to both of us, it helped us understand a little bit too about the versatility of how it's able to maneuver.
Correct, because you can be on different inclines with both sides, right?
Yeah, that's one thing that off-road people run into all the time with a trailer is that the angles going down into a little dip and coming out, or even a canted hill.
Yeah, even we've taken it. The Uint is a really big place, right? Like up to go to Blue Lake, or up to. Haystack and stuff like that. You're getting into some of those spots where you're coming down into a rut and your trailer's still up here. What are you going to do? Well, and then you're off camber, right? So the hitches that we use help with that so that you're still able to do the things that you need to do with your rig, and that trailer's going to follow so that you're able to make those movements.
Also the brilliance of a two-wheeled trailer too.
Yep.
It's just like,
I mean, to see legit the advancement, the joke that started this whole podcast, which was the trailers that I think of when I see these are just the old Fords and Chevys that they've cut the back and they've welded their own, and they're all like, "Look, I
forgot about those.
Remember those guys?
We owned some of those when I was a kid.
My grandpa had one of those. Like, it's just like, the truck doesn't work anymore, but the bed's still good.
It's
just gonna
still
cut
good.
that and pull that. And now it's like we've personified that in such a magnificent way. What I think, like how Jeff had said, that again, just going right back to the idea of the ethos of the company, you guys, and just your approach to like, who is this for, right? Obviously for guys like us, hunters, outdoor campers, fishermen and stuff like that. It's pretty insane. Yeah. I'm actually like,
Jeez.
So
it moves up and down.
So okay.
Yeah, so
you explain this to everybody.
Yeah, sure. So, this is the truck side.
Mm-hmm.
This is the truck side. And so you're moving this way, right? The truck's moving and the trailer is able to move as well.
Follow
right?
and twist.
And,
and all
so
of that
if
and
it
stay how it wants to stay.
How it needs to stay.
So with that, is that also helping to lightly mitigate, obviously, the hopping that typically happens when it's just stationary and it's just revolving on the ball?
Yep, you're just roving. So you're not getting a lot of hop. The other thing too is that you don't want your tire pressure to be too high because then you will get some hop.
Yeah,
right. When you get them too high pressured, so you just take a little bit of air out, and then of course when you're out there on the trail, then you're gonna take the air out just like you do with your trucks, right? You're gonna reduce the tire pressure in there.
Uh-huh.
Ride them at like 10 pounds is all.
10 pounds is all you need.
Yeah. Right.
This is going to be so much better. Last year, my Uncle Kevin came up. He owns High Point Outfitters. He's like, I'll help you scout for bulls. I'm like, cool. So he rolls up in his Jeep. The air's aired down to like 20 or something in that Jeep. And we're cruising and then we get lost and it's dark. And I'm like, where are we going to sleep? And it's just sleeping bags and tents in the back. And, there's no like real comfortable base camp.
A good sleeping
You're
quarters.
throwing it out and, we may do, but I'm like, we did that like 4 times because we were just trying to get up there, get the game cameras. I set like 30 game cameras and I just wanted to I'd show up there for the weekend for 2 days and then bomb home again. And it wasn't worth sometimes bringing the side by side or dealing with that, because then I got to bring the trailer. So I just meet him there and he'd bring the Jeep and we could get to some spots. This, you just roll down in there, bring my Jeep, get in there where I want to go,
Yeah, but
no
what
hassle.
if you parked it there with the trail cam on it?
That would be cool too. I could just leave it there for 2 weeks.
Relatively speaking to the security of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to take that? How are they going to get it out?
No one.
I mean, so you could literally set 4 cameras on that guy.
Well, not
get
just
4
that.
angles.
I would like to stick it where nobody's going anyway.
Right.
Touche.
Like, good luck. A guy rolls up in something. He's
not getting that out.
I don't know how to hold.
Yeah, there's no way.
It also has the appeal of like, he'd probably walk up on it. He's like,
what is this?
This has got to be something with the federal
super-
government.
Yeah.
There's this is probably alien related.
It is nicely secure too, so you can leave things in it. It's like a steel lockbox.
Oh yeah, it's all
Right.
locked up for sure.
Yeah.
So now you talk about that, right? So say somebody is trying to travel across country. Here's another idea for you. They're able to take the tent off and you've got your vault on wheels, right? If you're going out hunting, but you don't need your whole setup, but you don't want to put all that stuff in your rig. You don't want to carry your guns in your truck because now you're going, instead of hunting in Utah, you're going to be hunting in Mexico.
Yep.
Right? You're going down to shoot ducks.
We've done.
Right? And you don't want to carry all that in your truck. Now you can carry it in your trailer and it's all locked up.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Right?
How easily does the sleep system, the tent, come off?
4 bolts.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy. So you just got
4 bolts in
and
your
a pulley
neighbors.
system. Yeah, you just got a pulley
Yeah.
system in your
Sure,
garage.
sure.
Yeah, it's the tent that's heavy. Getting it off the trailer's easy.
Easy.
It's finding friends that are willing to lift that thing up. Yeah.
Or
Helping
a pulley
hands.
system. Yeah. Or a pulley system in the
Just
garage.
like you would, yeah.
Just like you would off your truck. So
Yep.
super easy, right? Or you're going to go fly fishing with a bunch of friends. You can load that up with all your fly gear.
That's cool. Which I need to go do.
Right? Let's
I need to go
go.
out with the gritty angler.
Yeah. I mean, there's, again, what I think is really cool about Brian's brand and kind of what as he's thinking about the last 10 years that he's been gritty and what he's been doing in the hunt space and the future of gritty and what he intends to continue to do there, do more or different than what's being done. we're looking, he's got a great brand that he's starting to put together that's going to coming out called, and we talked about the dueling pistols, right? It's actually hilarious. Him and his brother. I mean, I'm going to correlate this, but like, if you guys ever seen Drunk History?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And you chuckle because it's freaking hilarious, right? Brian and his brother.
I'm
have
the
a
straight
series.
guy.
Yeah. He's the straight
And then
guy.
there's my brother.
And then there's his brother. And they just have this fun brotherly banter where they talk about books, and they're in the 17th
Well, one
century?
of the shows I've really enjoyed watching over the last few years is Desert Drifter, which is a YouTube channel of a dude that just has gone, Andrew Cross. He just go to all these places in the desert, day hike and look at like the Southwest, especially like the Four Corners area, and show you like old ruins of Native American Indians and find arrowheads.
Oh, that's really cool.
Super legit. I enjoyed watching that, and I watch Tight Loops and Gone Dirtin' and a bunch of other YouTube channels where these overland folks go and have little adventures and go places.
Right.
And when I was in college and before I did Gritty, that was mostly what I did, because hunting while you're a college student was hard. And so I did more fishing and backpacking and hiking and climbing than I did hunting. And so that's my thing. I love to just go out and have an adventure and just go see places. And as much as I love hunting, which has been sort of all consuming for me in the last decade, I just want to get back to some other things.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
So
I get it.
I've got all sorts of trips planned, and it's different because on a hunt, if I want to be successful, and we're doing a lot of hard hunts, it's a 10 to 14 day commitment. It's on foot almost always. We rarely base camp. And until the last few years, I've been doing more base camp hunting. I was out with my friend Pedro Ampuero, who's a Spaniard adventurer. And he's like, Brian, do you guys ever do any fun stuff? It's like, and it really hit me. I talk about it all the time. I was like, it's been a decade and I pretty much know, unless it's like some sort of Iron Man got it all out, like monumental physical feat on some mountain somewhere, finding the rarest thing and then coming out at negative 10 degrees. Like, I'm not doing it the easy stuff.
Right.
And it started to get to be where there's more out there, and everything doesn't have to be a Spartan race, And so I have transitioned a little bit into a little more relatable adventures that others can do. And I've really enjoyed watching these simple overland channels where people just go out, 4-wheel a little bit, go fishing, talk crap with their buddies, and then come home. It's like what I did in college.
Yeah.
And this right here just suits itself to that lifestyle. I just really want to get out in my vehicle too and have a little more off-roading kind of stuff.
Fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. This will help you do it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Especially with the old Polaris Ranger.
Yeah.
It's going to be sweet.
There are some places, because my Jeep is great. It's not as off-road as I want. And the truck is useless. I mean, it's meant for towing. It's diesel, it's heavy. But getting into some of these places, especially since scouting is a 2 or 3 month long endeavor.
Yep.
Taking the side-by-side down there, and then leaving it there and being able to pop in over the weekends.
Yeah.
And having this and then be able to tool around. All I got to do is drive myself there.
Yeah.
And then I got my kit all ready to go.
That's right, man.
I saw these guys with big, giant trailers that they had parked at the bottom that they left there like for months at a time. But they just had like a little four-wheeler that they go do all this other stuff with. They were, every day, they had to travel like 15 miles up a dirt road and then back down 15 miles just to get to
the start of where they wanted to continue walking.
This right here, I'm just there.
You're there, man, whole time.
I love it. So
now you guys have a couple things coming up that from a community aspect, you guys are trying to get some of the people that are in the community, overland community, see you guys, experience you guys, as well as you already have some customers that you want to come out. What were some of those events that you guys had coming up that you had planned for getting your guys' community together?
So we actually have an event coming up with a girl in her backpack. So if you're interested in that, doing that for the younger girls, ages 14 to 18, you're more than welcome to look at that. It's a girl in her backpack. We'll be going out to the geode beds. We're going to have an experience out there.
Geobeds are fun.
Yeah, do some hiking and stuff around out in the desert, teach them some desert safety.
So where do they find the information on that?
A girlinherbackpack.com.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of our cool things. We're also doing a pop-up drive-in at Red Barn on May 30th, which I think we'll be doing with you guys, hopefully. And yeah, that'll be at 9:00. Everyone could and should come. So
can they go to ADAX?
It'll be posted there in the next week or so. So yeah. So I don't know when this thing will get produced.
What's the actual website?
It's ADDAXoutdoors.com. So ADDAX outdoors.com.
That's it. ADDAXoutdoors.com. Okay.
And one of the cool things that
events, they can find these links there.
There, as well as you guys can learn about the different models that they have, right? Because you guys also do offer one that actually goes in the truck bed of a Jeep truck.
Correct.
Yes,
correct.
Cab. Yep.
So you've got the cab one that goes in. We've got this one that detaches. And then we're excited and stoked, obviously, because we're going to be, as Black Flag and Gritty, giving one of these away.
Yes.
Yeah.
An opportunity. Somebody win a truck and this guy. So you have the ultimate outdoor on the go, whenever setup.
It's gonna be awesome.
So much fun.
I don't know who wouldn't want that, but if you don't, you're probably not
Gritty.
Oh,
you're not gritty.
Gritty. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not, and listen, I get it. Gritty life isn't for everybody, but we're incredibly excited. I was personally just grateful to connect with you guys at the off-road show.
Yeah.
Just because this is something for Casey and I, with our company now, Black Flag, it's one of the things that we're really trying to focus on is so many of these different adjacent markets outside of hunt, because we had built a very successful company in the hunting space. That I like the way Brian put it. It's there was a lot of things that I actually did myself, snowboarding, wakeboarding, all these board sports that were meaningful to me that I honestly, for the last decade, have really put off, because a lot of what I did was just hunting focused, right? You're really part of the community, you're part of the adventure, you're part of what that space provides. And kind of taking a step back, I'm I'm excited to get back to snowboarding and wakeboarding and skating. And honestly, doing stuff like this with my boys, that's just to Brian's point, adventurous and exploring. Obviously the hunt side's still. And so that's where I'm excited, with our partnership with Black Flag and you guys and Gritty, and figuring out how we can continue to help people see your guys' product, how it can play a role in their life with some of the things that we're doing and the adventures that we're trying to go out and seek together. So really
sweet.
Cool.
We're excited too.
Super important to keep getting out. You just got to get out. Get outside and keep having fun.
You got to stay gritty.
Michelle, do you guys have a newsletter or anything like that people can sign up to?
We don't right now.
No,
we'll set one up.
Do you have? Should we give him Jeff's phone numbers?
Yeah, just go ahead and get that out.
Do you guys have an SMS list? No, but we've got Jeff's cell phone. You can text Jeff.
Any time after 9 p.m. Please. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff's got young ones. He doesn't need that.
Yeah.
The poor guy's up all the time.
How old are they now?
I've got 3-year-old twins this coming week, and then I got a 10-month-old. We're in it, man.
Wow.
In the thick of it.
I got three daughters, but I got one left in high school.
And they all need to go out to the geocache.
They
learn
do.
How to survive in the desert.
Last year they did a 50-miler in 3 days.
Whoa.
With Suzanne?
Okay.
With Suzanne in Yellowstone.
Wow.
So they're gritty.
Yeah, they are.
They're pretty tough.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Gritty makes some gritty babies.
I have this middle child. They're all girls.
Yeah.
I didn't have any boys. The middle one's a little soft. She's a little soft. She likes her comforts at home. The other two are pretty wild. They like to get out and go and have adventures. The middle one likes to sing. Sort of explains it all. You know,
Hey, that's cool too.
Yeah,
No,
singing's
she's-
rad.
Yeah.
no, she's incredible. She was in gymnastics. She can do like all these handstand walks and all this kind of stuff. But she's like, yeah, I don't want to be cold. You
Sounds
know?
like her dad. That's
That's
how
awesome.
this thing started.
Did you see how important it was for
Look,
him to understand?
Yeah.
Look,
How can we heat this?
it's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
secret. It's not a secret that I hate being cold and I hate rain.
Yeah, there you go.
But I do it. I don't care.
Yeah, you
If
gotta do
what
it.
I want is out there, I'll endure it.
But also,
But I don't have to like it.
he's also unapologetic in the terms of like your recent wolf hunt
Yes.
when you guys were 10 below.
Oh yeah, it was
17?
15 below.
15
geez.
below. They were out spotting. He was showing me a photo of this, and he goes,
No, it was 30 below.
"Okay, 30."
I mean,
below.
it was both. It was all of that.
But he's sitting there on the glass looking, and you're like, "Screw this! I'm pulling out." My,
Oh, you're talking about, yeah. So I packed in a canvas cutter bedroll. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
have seen those. Yeah. So I put it on the back of my backpack. It's like this big around. And I hiked
God.
in to the wolf stand and I laid it out in the trees, looking over the lake where the wolves are supposed to come out. And I pitched that thing and I was in a sleeping bag and I was like, that was a cold. They
I
said
can't
it was
imagine.
below -30 with the wind chill.
I can't imagine. Negative.
That
I have
is
some
brutal.
pictures.
Because even what was the guy's name that you were with?
Olin.
Olin. His whole face was
I was gonna
frozen.
say, is the lens just freeze
His nose
over?
and
Yeah.
face is like all burned and frozen.
You know why he's
He's-
gritty? He's got 3 girls.
He's got 3 girls. That's right.
That's why he's gritty.
Yeah,
That's
I'm the
right.
oldest of 8 kids, and I've got 6 sisters too.
Oh,
My brother is 16 years younger than me, so we didn't really. It was a house full of women,
He
which
learned-
I just
Made it
learned.
cool.
I like ladies.
yeah.
He learned
like-
how to become gritty.
When we didn't have a son, I was like, we were trying, but my wife got cancer, cut us off a little early.
I'm sorry.
But
So-
she pulled through,
There you go.
but in the end, I got 3 gals, and I had to turn them kind of into boys. But here's the thing. It didn't work. They're still ladies.
Yep.
Yes.
For
They're
sure.
still.
Yep.
That's
So-
awesome.
Okay,
Well,
so everybody can find you guys at
ADDAXOutdoors.com
Facebook and on Instagram
Facebook and Instagram.
and TikTok.
and
Come
YouTube.
learn more,
And
guys,
YouTube.
about this amazing product, and more to come from Gritty in terms of where we're going to take this thing, things that we're going to be able to do with it, and experiences and adventures we're going to have. And then obviously, like we said, more details to come on terms of an opportunity for everyone within the Gritty community to actually
Heck yeah.
go home with one of
Heck
these,
Yep.
yeah.
Sweet.
which is incredible. So we're very thankful for your guys' support on that.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
And the
guys.
opportunity, we're going to have some fun doing
For
this
sure.
over the next, 90 days or so.
That's right. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank
Stay
you.
gritty.
Okay.